There's really no representation in the United States Senate. And here's a piece to prove it. In Roll Call, a mouthpiece for the rhinos, by Matthew Fleming. Despite the anti-Mitch McConnell chatter on talk radio announced, this is me. I've been leading this battle because I am convinced that until the Republican Party is cleaned out and cleaned up, this is just going to keep going on. Don't look for the Senate Majority Leader to fold like John Boehner, at least not for the foreseeable future. The Kentucky Republican is holding quite a few more cards than his counterpart in the House. Under pressure, McConnell pushed to resign as Senate Majority Leader, read a Washington Times headline last week. Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal told a conservative crowd in Kentucky. No, it was the Kentucky Republicans' turn to resign. Members of the conservative House Freedom Caucus sounded off as well, firing warning shots at McConnell. Right-wing personalities, I guess they mean conservatives, such as radio host Mark Levin piled on. Oh, I piled on, is that it? Like Boehner, McConnell is a target, but there are differences between the chambers. McConnell has advantages. For one, the Tea Party fuel wave that reshaped the House Republican Conference has less of an impact in the Senate. And yet, you know, ladies and gentlemen, 2010 and 2014, it's the conservatives, the Tea Party activists, the Reaganites, however you want to describe us. We blow out many Democrat legislatures. We control a supermajority Republican legislatures now, which would have a meaningful difference if the 17th Amendment didn't exist. Let's see here. In 2013, Levin called for McConnell's defeat. Today, McConnell is on Team Bevin, backing the Kentucky businessman in his bid for the governor's mansion. That's because McConnell's a chameleon. And while members of the House Freedom Caucus frequently critical of McConnell, especially on strategy, no one in the Senate has called for him to step down. There's 54 of us. We all have very close personal relationship, with the exception, obviously, of, Ted Cruz, said John McCain, who likens McConnell's success to leader in chess. Chess? Mitch loves the game, McCain said. He likes to move the pieces around the chessboard, and he does it very well. I think the only way he's leaving is feet first. McConnell and his allies have pushed back against the meme that the Republican Congress is dysfunctional. GOP senators have routinely touted their success. Yeah, like how many amendments they voted on, how many bills they passed, all of which Obama wants. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that's why as part of my Liberty Amendments, one of the 11 reform amendments, I call for a number of things. Term limits, repeal of the 17th Amendment, because the Senate really has no connection to the people. The Senate that exists today was not the Senate that was created by the Constitution and the framers of the Constitution. That's the dysfunction that you see. You can have much more influence on the House of Representatives, as limited as the influence is. But Mitch McConnell just got reelected. He's going to be there for 5 more years, and he knows it. And then he raises millions, $10 million, $20 million. So every election cycle, he can go in, crush his opponent, lie about his opponent, lie about what he's going to do. People who aren't paying attention to politics, oh, Mitch is going to end Obamacare. Oh, that's good. Vote for him, and on with their business they go. Then they hear McConnell say over and over, we did everything we could. The Democrats stopped us. Woe is me. Cynical, deceitful, shameless, and grotesque. The system is broken. The Senate was changed 102 years ago. The Senate is not what it's supposed to be. The framers never sat there and said, you know what, I have an idea. The people will elect these members of the House, so that's their direct body, and they'll get to elect the Senate. That doesn't even make any sense. The reason why there are 2 senators from every state is that those 2 senators are to represent the states, each pair. So the states no longer have any say in the workings of the federal legislature, or the federal government for that matter. None. Do you think that Constitution would have been ratified at the state conventions in this country way back when? No, they would never have ratified that. This was a compromise plan. It was fought out in Philadelphia. The House would be the popular body, and the Senate would represent the states. Now, if we had that system, Mitch McConnell would be gone. Lamar Alexander would be out. John Cornyn would be out. This is why they can be arrogant and stubborn. This is why they can do pretty much whatever the hell they want to do. And if they're unprincipled, as many of them are, or maybe they share different principles, then they deceive and they lie and they twist and they spin and they do their thing. And Mitch McConnell leads this perversion of our constitutional system. That very body is a perversion of our constitutional system. Oh, we've got more systems in place here in the Senate to protect Mitch McConnell. In other words, to protect him and them from we the people.